here we have 20 push-ups. I want you to focus body lined up with chest, right? I don't want your hands to be out here doing push-ups like this. I want you to be over your body. I want you to make sure you protect your glutes and your core, right? None of this lean thin body. Get this up, glutes tight, core tight. Drive right over your chest. Come about, I don't know, a few inches away from the ground. Exhale, come right back up, right? Don't let that neck drop and hang. Keep your head looking at a 45-degree angle and rep out those push-ups. We got another great one here, air squats. We got 50 air squats. I want you, if you can, if you have something at home for the kids, you just want to make sure they're getting at least parallel or a little below parallel. But every one, that's 1, 2, 3. I like to use my arms for a nice little guide. Shoot them back, shoot those hips back, sink down. We got 50 of those. All right, we got some bench dips here. I want you to focus on bringing your body right off tight to the bench. Hands right outside your hips, not too wide, right? Because I don't want to be coming down like this. Look at my shoulders popping out. I want to work my triceps, right? So if I'm going to work my triceps, I want to try to keep my chest up and not allow my body to roll forward. Right? I'm going to drop straight down into it and lock my arms out without my chest being here. Right? I want to stay tight to the bench and drive tight to the bench. I almost want my back rubbing that bench on the way up. If it starts to aggravate you, obviously you can come out a little bit, but you want to try to stay as tight as you can to this bench to get the most out of your triceps. I'm sitting here in the split squat position. I want to make sure that my weight is 50-50, right? When I drop down, I feel a comfortable distribute between my front foot and my back foot. My back foot, as you can see, heel is high, and front foot, heel is flat, right? So I want to make sure that that is going to be a consistency throughout this split squat, right? So when I jump and split, you want to make sure that that weight is evenly distributed. We got 30 of these, 30 total, 15 a leg. We got some shoulder push-ups here. The way you get in the shoulder push-up position, you have your hands right outside of the shoulders, and then you bring your hips up, right? You bring your hips up. You gotta tuck your chin, look right through your legs. When you do that, your legs are gonna be straight out. I want you to bend those knees a little bit so that your body's driving down at an angle. You don't want to do this, right? You just push pressure on those shoulder capsules and that AC joint area. So what you want to focus on is tucking that chin, getting that slight bend in your knees, breathing in as you go down, exhale as you come away, driving through that hand and that palm, right? So I breathe in, exhale, drive back. Breathe in, exhale, drive back. These are shoulder push-ups. You're going to start in the squat position. You want to make sure your knees aren't buckling in like this. You want to push them out hard so you have somewhere to sit yourself. Keeping your chest up, squeezing your scapula. Just be able to look straight ahead. You're going to hop in, hop out. You're already in that squat position. All you're going to do is jump up. Right, you're going to come right back in that squat position, hop in, hop out, jump up. Hop in, hop out, jump up. Hop in, hop out, jump up. Notice that I'm keeping my weight in my heels. I'm not on my toes. I'm sitting in my heels, keeping my chest up. I pop in my heels, pop out of my heels. I jump up, land into a squat. In, out, up. In, out, up. Here, I'm holding a plank. In this plank position, so many people too often can hold the plank for too long, which tells me they're doing it wrong. Sorry to bust your bubble, but if you try it like this, this will be more effective. Everyone starts here holding their plank. You want to think about someone trying to poke you in the belly, and you draw your belly button in, and you hold that there, and then you squeeze your glutes behind that. You keep your glutes tight as you can, and keep your belly button in as if somebody's trying to poke you right in the middle of your belly button, and you're telling yourself, no, I don't want them to touch it. It's not that I'm rising my hips. I'm drawing my belly button in and trying to keep it from touching if I had a yoga block here or a weight or something, I'm trying to keep my belly from touching that. So I keep my glutes tight, my core tight, which really helps engage my low back when I keep my glutes tight. And when I draw my belly button in, it helps activate my lower abdomen and my upper abdomen and fires everything as opposed to my shoulders and arms doing the work. After this 2-minute plank, we're going to go into some oblique dips. When you do your oblique dips, I want you to think about every time I turn this corner, I want to make sure that I'm going to keep my hips high when I come back over this, or back around this corner, I should say. And I'm going to drop my hips, keep my elbows flat to the ground, shoot my hips up, rotate over, drop my hips to the ground, keep my arms flat, shoot back over to this side, right back over to that side, and keep rotating for 50 reps. Not allowing your arms to come off the ground when you rotate. Right? Keeping your arms pinned to the ground. Only thing that can rotate is your torso. You're going to target your hamstrings in this exercise. But it's really important that you get in the right positioning, right? Everyone can drop down to a squat and it all looks the same. But depending on where you're letting your feet drive from is where you're going to actually feel this exercise. So if I get down in this squat position and I'm trying to load these hamstrings up, I'm going to take my elbows, I'm going to pin them tight inside of my knees. So I'm taking my knees down essentially and pushing them against my elbows, right? And I'm going to find a position where I can sit there comfortably without leaning too far forward on my toes. I want to be able to sit in my heels so you can start as high as you want. And what you want to try to do when you finish this movement is still have a flat back, right? So I shoot my hips up and back, and I still have a flat back, and I never lost my angle of where I was looking, right? I get right back in that position. I don't let my knees slide forward. I stop my hips high. I drive my hips up, and then I shoot right back down. Not once did I let my back egg like this. I kept my back flat, I shot my hips back, and then I drove into my heels and pushed my hips back. I drive into my heels, push my hips back. It's going to stretch those hamstrings out. If you went through all 9 of those exercises and you still got a lot of energy, you're going to finish it off with exercise number 10. Everyone should know this one. We do it in all of our sports. It is a good full body exercise. You just got to make sure you're keeping everything tight, focusing on your form. I always say this to people, don't let the way you feel dictate the way you work. So what that's saying is, if you're tired and you know you're tired, don't keep working. You don't want to teach your body a quantity of work. You want to teach your body a quality of work. So if that means taking a break when you get to 5 because you started here and then you ended over here, okay, I'm going to focus on trying to just do 5 where I come back in the same positioning every time. Right? Put pressure on yourself to be in the right position where you started. All right, so I'm going to do my burpees. I'm going to make sure when I hit here, point of contact, I get my hands here, I shoot my hips back, I keep my glutes tight, I drop to the ground as 1. When I come up as 1, I shoot my hips forward, and I jump. I always want to try to land in my heels when I hit this, when I come from this explosion position. I want to land in my heels because it's an easier position to come straight up from there. Every time I land on my toes, I'm going to want to fall forward. If I could just go that extra mile to keeping this tight here, coming to here, landing here, now, as opposed to wasting this energy falling forward here, all I got to do is jump. So, moral of the story, shoot your hips forward, try to land in those heels, make this transition easier for you.